Hey, Kylie, how's your morning going?
Pretty good. I was just thinking about something interesting today. How about you?
I'm doing great, thanks. So, what were you thinking about?
Well, I was thinking about how we speak differently depending on who we're talking to, like polite English versus casual English,
Oh, that's a really good topic. Yeah, we definitely change the way we speak based on the situation.
right? I mean, the way I talk to my boss is totally different from how I talk to my best friend.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I think everyone does that.
So maybe we should talk about this today? I think it could help a lot of people who are learning English.
I love that idea. Let's do it. This is actually super important for anyone learning English.
Awesome. Okay, so let me introduce myself first. My name is Kylie, and I'm from Texas. I love meeting new people and having conversations. But I'll admit it took me a while to learn when to be polite and when to be casual.
Nice to meet you, Kylie. I'm Jordan from California. I work in an office, so I deal with both formal and casual situations every single day. Sometimes I have to be really polite, and other times I can just relax and be myself.
That's perfect. So you probably have lots of examples to share.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So, Kylie, let me ask you something. When did you first realize that English has different levels of politeness?
Hmm. I think it was when I got my first job. I was probably about 16 years old, working at a clothing store.
Oh, okay. What happened?
Well, I remember my manager told me when you talk to customers, you need to be more polite. Don't say yeah, say yes. Don't say what, say excuse me,
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a big difference.
right? At first, I was confused. I was like, but I'm being friendly. What's wrong with saying yeah?
I totally understand. When you're a teenager, you don't really think about those things.
Exactly. But then I realized that being polite shows respect, especially to customers or people you don't know well.
That's a great point. And I think that's one of the hardest things for English learners to understand.
Yeah, because in some languages there are specific words for polite and casual, but in English it's more about how you say things.
Exactly. It's about the words you choose, your tone, and even your body language.
So, Jordan, let's start with some examples. Can you think of a situation where you have to be really polite?
Sure. Let's say I'm at work and I need to ask my boss for a day off.
Okay, that's a good example. So, how would you ask?
Well, I wouldn't just walk up to my boss and say, "Hey, I need Friday off."
Right, that would sound pretty rude.
Yeah, instead, I would say something like, "Excuse me, do you have a moment? I was wondering if it would be possible for me to take Friday off. I have a personal appointment."
Ooh, that's really polite. You used excuse me, do you have a moment, and I was wondering.
Exactly. Those phrases make it sound more respectful and less demanding.
That's so true. Now, what if you were asking your friend the same thing? Like if you needed your friend to cover your shift.
Oh, that would be totally different. I'd probably say, "Hey, can you cover my shift on Friday? I've got something I need to do."
Yeah, way more casual.
Right. With a friend, you don't need to be so formal. You can just be direct and relaxed.
I love this example because it shows the same situation, but completely different styles.
Exactly. That's the key point here.
Okay, so let me give another example. Let's say you're at a restaurant.
Okay, I'm listening.
So imagine you want to order a hamburger. If you're being polite, how would you say it?
Hmm. I would probably say, "Could I please have a hamburger? Thank you."
Perfect. That's really polite. You said, could I, and please, and thank you.
Right. Those words are super important when you're talking to a waiter or anyone in customer service.
Totally. Now, what if you're at home and your roommate is making food?
Oh, then I'd just say, "Hey, can you make me a hamburger?"
Or maybe even, make me a burger.
Right. Although that might sound a little bossy depending on your tone.
True, true. But the point is, with people you're close to, you can be way more casual.
Exactly. You don't have to use please and thank you every single time.
Although it's still nice to say thank you sometimes, even to people you're close to.
Oh, for sure. Being polite to your friends and family is important too.
So let's talk about some specific phrases. What are some polite ways to ask for something?
Good question. Okay, so polite ways to ask for something. Hmm. You could say, could you, or would you mind?
Oh, yeah. Would you mind is super polite.
Right. For example, would you mind closing the window?
That's perfect. What about could you possibly?
Oh, yeah, that's even more polite. Like, could you possibly help me with this?
I love that. Okay, so those are polite. What about casual ways to ask for the same things?
Casual would be like, can you close the window, or can you help me with this?
Right. Or even close the window, will you?
Yeah, that's pretty casual. You'd only say that to someone you know well.
Exactly. If you said that to your boss, it would sound really rude.
Oh, yeah, you probably get in trouble.
Okay, here's another situation. Let's say you didn't hear what someone said. How do you ask them to repeat it?
Ooh, good one. So, politely, you'd say, I'm sorry, could you repeat that? Or, excuse me, I didn't catch that.
Those are both really polite. What about casually?
Casually, you just say, what? Or, huh? Or, say that again?
Yeah, what is super casual? Some people might even think it's a little rude.
True, it depends on your tone. If you say it nicely, it's okay, but if you say it sharply, it can sound rude.
That's a good point. Tone is really important.
Yeah, you can say the exact same word, but with a different tone, it means something completely different.
So true. Like if I say thanks in a flat tone, it might sound sarcastic. Thanks.
Yeah, exactly. But if you say it warmly, it sounds genuine. Thanks.
Right. Tone changes everything.
So, Kylie, let's talk about saying no. That's another thing that changes depending on the situation.
Oh, yeah. Saying no politely can be really tricky.
Exactly. So, let's say someone invites you to a party, but you don't want to go. How do you say no politely?
I would probably say, thank you so much for inviting me, but I'm afraid I can't make it.
That's perfect. You thanked them first, and then you gave a soft no.
Right. And I said, I'm afraid, which makes it sound more polite.
Exactly. You could also say, I really appreciate the invitation, but unfortunately, I have other plans.
Ooh, I like that. Unfortunately is a good word to use.
Yeah, it softens the rejection.
Okay, so what about casually? How would you say no to a close friend?
Oh, with a friend, I'd probably just say, nah, I can't make it, or sorry, I'm busy that day.
Yeah, way more direct.
Right. With friends, you don't need to give a long explanation or use fancy words.
True, friends usually understand. All right, let's do another example. How about asking for help?
Okay, good one. So, if you need help and you want to be polite, you might say, I'm sorry to bother you, but could you help me with something?
Oh, that's really polite. You even apologized first.
Right. Saying, I'm sorry to bother you shows that you respect the other person's time.
That's a great point. What other polite phrases could you use?
You could say, would you be able to help me? Or, if you have a moment, could you assist me?
Assist is a very formal word.
Yeah, you'd use that in a professional setting, like at work or in an office.
Okay, so what about casually? How would you ask a friend for help?
I'd just say, hey, can you help me real quick?
Yeah, or even give me a hand with this.
Exactly, super casual and direct.
I like how different they are. The polite version is much longer and more indirect.
Right, being polite often means being less direct.
So, Jordan, why do you think it's important to know the difference between polite and casual English?
I think it's important because it helps you communicate better in different situations.
What do you mean?
Like, if you're too casual in a formal situation, people might think you're rude or unprofessional.
That's true. And if you're too formal in a casual situation, people might think you're stiff or unfriendly.
Exactly. You want to match your language to the situation.
Right. It's all about reading the room, as they say.
Yeah, reading the room. That's a good phrase.
So, how do you know which style to use?
Good question. I think you have to consider a few things. First, who are you talking to?
Right, like is it your boss, a stranger, or your best friend?
Exactly. Second, where are you? Are you at work, at a party, or at home?
That makes sense. The location matters.
And third, what's the relationship? Do you know this person well, or are you meeting them for the first time?
Those are all really good points. You know, one of the hardest things is knowing when it's okay to switch from polite to casual.
Oh yeah, that can be tricky.
Like, let's say you meet someone new at work. At first, you're really polite, but then, as you get to know them, you start being more casual.
Right, that's a natural progression.
But how do you know when it's okay to make that switch?
I think you just have to pay attention to how the other person is talking to you.
What do you mean?
Like, if they start being more casual with you, then you can be more casual with them.
Oh, I see. So you're kind of following their lead.
Exactly. It's like a mirror. If they're formal, you stay formal. If they relax, you can relax.
That's really smart. I never thought about it that way.
Yeah, it's all about being aware and adapting to the situation.
Okay, let's do a few more examples. I think this will really help people understand.
Sure. What situation do you want to talk about?
Let's talk about making a request at work, like asking someone to do something for you.
Okay, good one. So politely, you might say, when you have a chance, would you mind sending me that report?
Perfect. You said, when you have a chance, and would you mind? Super polite.
Right. It doesn't sound demanding at all.
Okay, now casually, how would you say it to a coworker you're friends with?
At a coworker, I'd probably just say, hey, can you send me that report when you get a chance?
Yeah, much more relaxed. You dropped would you mind and just said can you.
Exactly. Still polite enough for work, but more friendly and casual.
All right, here's another one. Disagreeing with someone. That's always tricky.
Oh yeah, that's a tough one. You want to disagree without being rude.
Right, so how do you disagree politely?
Well, you might say, I see your point, but I have a slightly different perspective.
Ooh, that's really polite. You acknowledged their opinion first.
Right. Or you could say, I understand what you're saying, however, I think...
However is a good word to use. It's more polite than but.
Exactly. It sounds more formal and respectful.
Okay, so what about casually? How would you disagree with a friend?
With a friend, I'd probably just say, I don't know, I think you're wrong about that. Or, nah, I disagree.
Yeah, way more direct.
Right. With friends, you don't need to give a... Right. With friends, you can be honest and straightforward.
Although you still want to be respectful, even with friends.
Oh, for sure. You don't want to be mean or aggressive.
Okay, let's talk about one more situation. Ending a conversation.
Oh, good one. How do you end a conversation politely?
Right, like, what if you're talking to someone but you need to leave?
So, politely, you might say, it was lovely talking to you, but I really should get going.
That's perfect. You complimented the conversation first, then said you need to leave.
Right. Or you could say, I'm so sorry, but I have to run. Let's catch up soon.
I like that. I have to run is a casual way to say you need to leave, but you made it polite by apologizing and suggesting you talk again soon.
Exactly. It's all about being considerate.
Okay, so what about casual? How do you end a conversation with a friend?
With a friend, I'd just say, all right, I gotta go. See you later.
Yeah, or even just, okay, bye.
Right. Super simple and casual.
So, Jordan, let's recap. We've talked a lot today.
Yeah, we covered a lot of ground. Let's go through the main points.
Okay, so first, we talked about how the same situation can require different levels of politeness.
Right. It depends on who you're talking to, where you are, and your relationship with the person.
Then we talked about specific phrases, like polite ways to ask for something include, could you and would you mind?
And casual ways include, can you, or just directly asking.
We also talked about saying no politely, which often involves softening your response with phrases like, I'm afraid, or unfortunately.
And we discussed how tone is really important. The same words can sound polite or rude depending on how you say them.
Right, and we talked about how to know when to be polite versus casual.
Yeah, it's about reading the situation and following the other person's lead.
You know, I think one of the most important things we talked about today is that being polite doesn't mean being fake.
That's a really good point. What do you mean?
I mean, some people think that being polite means you're not being yourself, but I don't think that's true.
I agree. Being polite is just about showing respect and consideration for others.
Exactly. You can still be polite and be genuine at the same time.
Right. It's not about pretending to be someone you're not. It's about adapting your communication style to fit the situation.
I love that. Adapting, not changing who you are.
Exactly.
So, if someone is watching this and they're learning English, what advice would you give them?
Thinking for a moment, I would say pay attention to how native speakers talk in different situations.
That's great advice. Like watch movies or TV shows and notice how characters talk differently depending on who they're with.
Exactly. Or even just observe real-life conversations. Notice how people change their tone and word choice.
Right, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's how you learn.
Oh, absolutely. Everyone makes mistakes, even native speakers.
So true.
And I would also say, when in doubt, err on the side of being more polite.
What do you mean?
I mean, if you're not sure whether to be polite or casual, it's better to be polite. People will understand and they won't think you're rude.
That's really good advice. Better to be too polite than not polite enough.
Exactly.
Well, Jordan, I think we covered this topic really well today.
I agree. I hope everyone watching learns something useful.
Me too. And remember, language is flexible. There's no one right way to say something.
That's so true. English has lots of different styles, and that's what makes it interesting.
Exactly. The key is to be aware of the situation and choose the style that fits best.
Right. And the more you practice, the easier it becomes.
Absolutely. So if you're learning English, just keep practicing and paying attention.
And don't be too hard on yourself. Learning a language takes time.
Great advice. Okay, so I think that's a good place to wrap up.
Yeah, I think so too. So to everyone watching, thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you so much. We hope this conversation helped you understand the difference between polite and casual English.
And remember, it's all about reading the situation and being respectful.
Exactly. So go out there and practice. Try using both polite and casual English in your conversations.
And have fun with it. Language is meant to be enjoyed.
That's right. All right, everyone. Until next time.
Take care and happy learning.
Bye.
Bye.